now for our next news special report.
Are you ready to peel back the latest layers of a major financial scandal involving the Bidens and China? Money has been sent straight from Beijing to Hunter Biden. Bank wires pinpoint to Joe Biden's own home in Delaware. We're talking large sums, blatant contradictions in public statements, and personal connections. This is more than just dollars moving. It's a question of integrity, honesty, and national security. And the final thought will summarize this financial maze, putting all the pieces together to give you a clear picture. So stay tuned for the truth without the fluff, as we stand for transparency, honesty, and the strength of our republic. All right, folks, let's dive right into the facts and cut through the noise. This is a straightforward report on the money trail that's been unveiled, leading from Beijing to the Bidens. The House Oversight Committee has been doing some digging, and they've brought some significant new issues to light. These are facts that every American should be aware of, especially as we piece together a fuller picture of our nation's leadership. So the committee, headed by Chairman James Comer, uncovered 2 bank wires directly to Hunter Biden from Chinese nationals. Now here's where it gets interesting. These wires were not sent to just any address. The beneficiary address for these wires is Joe Biden's very own home in Wilmington, Delaware. This is happening. It happened back in 2019 while Joe Biden was in the thick of his campaign for the presidency. Comer succinctly puts it, bank records don't lie, but President Joe Biden does. He revealed that despite Joe Biden's denials of any financial connections to China, these bank records say otherwise. Take a look.
Fox News alert. Oversight Chair James Comer has just released a bombshell piece of evidence that could be the nail in the coffin for Biden's career. A $250,000 wire transfer from China directly to Joe Biden's home address in Delaware while he was running for president. In August 2019, just months after Joe Biden announced his candidacy, the Chinese sent $250,000 electronically to Joe Biden's Wilmington, Delaware address. Hunter Biden received the money in his checking account, and his checking account listed his father's primary residence. And not only did Joe Biden shake the hand of the man who sent his family money, he had coffee with him and spoke to him on the phone. After VP Joe flew his son Hunter on Air Force Two to Beijing, and Hunter flew home on Air Force Two with a bag of money, Vice President Joe Biden wrote letters of recommendation for Jonathan Lee's children to Georgetown and Brown. And the minute Biden announces a presidential run, the same Chinese guy sends the Biden family $250,000 out of the blue to a checking account with Joe Biden's address on it. And once Joe Biden gets elected, he starts doing China favors. He disbands the FBI's China task force. He covers up the lab leak. He doesn't pop the balloon. Now we have the Chinese bribing the Biden family while Joe was vice president, after he was vice president, and while he was a presidential candidate. Now, what do you think the chances are the Chinese are still bribing the Biden family? We might find out tomorrow. Because sources tell Jesse Watters Primetime that additional evidence could be released as early as tomorrow that may show Biden family offshore accounts and IRS agents being obstructed from pursuing leads into Biden family members. The bribery statute's written so that bribing a politician's family is still bribery. U.S. Code Section 201B2 spells it out for all you lawyers out there.
Unbelievable. And here's a statement from James Comer providing a concise summary of the situation. Now let's look at the figures here. The first transaction is dated July 26, 2019, was for $10,000 from someone named Wang Xin. A week later, on August 2nd, 2019, a much larger sum of $250,000 was wired from Jonathan Lee and Tan Ling. These transactions were directly traced back to Beijing. This is crucial as it blatantly contradicts statements made by Hunter Biden's attorney in October of the same year, who said that Hunter Biden has no financial ties to BHR, a firm closely associated with Jonathan Lee. These revelations indeed cast a large shadow over those statements. What also adds another layer to this, folks, is the historical connection between the Bidens and these Chinese individuals. Reports show that Joe Biden and Jonathan Lee were in contact during Biden's vice presidency. And of course, they didn't just share a cup of coffee, but Joe Biden wrote college recommendation letters for Lee's children. So this isn't just a random financial transaction. There is a relationship, history, and familiarity between these individuals. This information is significant because it gives context to the financial transactions. It's not just money moving around, It's money moving between individuals who have a known relationship with each other. And it's essential to note the timing. All this money was moving around while Joe Biden was actively campaigning for the presidency. This begs the question, why were these funds transferred to Hunter Biden during this critical time? What was the money for? These are questions that every American should be asking, as these transactions directly involve individuals who are now in the highest offices of our country. And folks, as we discuss the details of these transactions and their potential implications, I want to bring something to your attention. It's like building with a cracked foundation. If we let these issues slide, if we ignore the cracks, we're setting ourselves up for serious problems down the line. It's the same with our bodies. But how does this connect to our lives and the health of our republic? Much like how aging leads to muscle loss, deceit and corruption lead to the weakening of our nation's foundation. And here's a product that combats muscle loss, enhances endurance and performance, and is filled with ingredients like MyHMB, creatine, betaine, and vitamin D3. Much like our nation needs transparency and strength, our bodies need the same care and attention. Reclaim your strength at gainwithgary.com for a 41% discount plus extra gifts. Just like our nation needs transparency and strength, our bodies need the same attention and care. Now, another crucial detail in this unfolding story is the beneficiary listed for these wires. It's Robert Hunter Biden, with the address listed as Wilmington, Delaware. This is the same address as Joe Biden's main residence. This connection further complicates the matter for the Bidens, bringing the transactions closer to home. Literally. Further investigations into the money trail have revealed more about BHR Partners, a joint venture of Hunter Biden's Rosemont Seneca and a Chinese investment firm, Bohai Capital. BHR Partners is a Beijing-backed private equity firm controlled by the Bank of China Limited. Hunter Biden was seated on the board of directors of BHR Partners. This association underscores the ties between the Bidens and China, making the money transactions even more dubious. And let's not forget Joe Biden's public statements, claiming no financial engagements of his son with China, which starkly contrasts with the proven records of substantial money transactions from Chinese nationals to Hunter Biden. The transactions, relationships, and the clear contradiction of statements create a convoluted web that the Bidens seem to be entangled in. The situation is more than just a financial scandal. It's a question of integrity, transparency, and national security. With these revelations, doubts have been cast and questions have been raised about the honesty and openness of the Biden administration. The uncovering of these transactions, the connection to China, and the significant sums involved highlight the importance of continued investigation and accountability. The American people deserve clarity and transparency from their leaders, ensuring the safeguarding of the nation's values and principles that hold the foundation of our republic. So, folks, as we go forward, it's essential to stay informed, vigilant, and committed to seeking the truth amid these allegations and revelations. The health of our republic demands it. Remember, the fight for the truth and transparency is a fight for the very core of our nation, ensuring a robust and steadfast future for all. So as we wrap it up, let's bring it all back together. The Bidens and the big bucks from Beijing. A trail of transactions right to Joe Biden's doorstep amidst claims of no financial ties to China. It's a mess, folks, with more twists than a country road. And it's not just about the money. It's about the relationships, the timing, and the clear contradictions and statements made by the Bidens. This isn't just a scandal. It's a hit at the heart of our national security and integrity. We deserve answers and transparency. We've got to keep pushing, keep questioning, and keep seeking the truth in this tangled web. Because at the end of the day, it's about preserving the principles and values that keep our republic standing tall. Let's stay vigilant and ensure the clear light of truth outshines any shadow of doubt. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.